Music Radio. Totally 70s is America's number one choice. You are not seeing things, you are not hearing things. It truly is me, yours truly. Mr. 70s is on the air for a little while, and Pablo Cruz is here to entertain us now on 70s. Oh, yes, certainly will. There's always a better song right here on Music Radio. Pablo Cruz.
The best music.
Totally. 1977 hit music, and love will find a way. It always does, right? It's 10:47. It's Mr. 70 speaking to you from the heart of the high-rent district here in New York. I must turn my monitors down because I can hear myself, which means you can as well. And yes, I decided tonight, since Plasma is out of town, Jim Long has got other plans, and there really was not anybody who could fill the shoes of my Friday night radio show. And since I was home because the weather is lousy and we didn't have anything planned, as a matter of fact, we've got kind of a light weekend. Usually the holiday weekends are jam-packed with back-to-back events. My wife was a very smart gal and decided that this weekend we were going to have some me time. That means on 4th of July, myself and my wife will actually be heading over to some friends' house and doing what most people do on 4th of July, lighting a few fireworks, having some barbecue, and relaxing. That's what our plans are anyway. And tomorrow, judging by the looks of the weather, probably half of the events that we have booked will more than likely be canceled due to the weather. At least that's what I'm hoping for at this time. So you are stuck with me for a little while. Something you want to hear tonight, you can do one of a couple of things. When I fire up Skype, you can let me know via Skype, or you can give me a call on the studio lines tonight at 845-454-6862. I want to say hi to Keith Swenhall. I see you peeking in, and my buddy Jay Loud, and of course Roy Labuda is in there as well. If you're over on Facebook, I will probably be getting muted just as soon as they realize what a great little thing we have going on together. And I have left the link for the Vaughn Live section. And good news, there is actually a Vaughn Live app for your phones now. So if you want to listen to me on the phone via Vaughn Live, you can do that. Go to the App Store and type in Vaughn Live TV. And you, my friends, are set to go.
Your station.
Totally. And that's a fact. It's 10 away from 11 o'clock, and gang, you are still the one that makes this America's number one. Welcome to a Friday night in New York Town with Orleans, right here on Totally 70s.
We've been together since way back when.
Oh, yes, we tell you all the time, it's not radio the way it used to be, it's radio the way it's supposed to be, right? You agree? I know.
Totally 70s. Mr. 70s. All the best jingles all the time.
Oh, yes, certainly is. All the best jingles, all the best music, and all the greatest songs that every other radio station refuses to play or completely forgot about. You take your pick. It's 10:53, and it's Mr. 70s. You, me, and all the great songs you grew up with. And, man, if we got a dynamite weekend coming up for you. Matter of fact, we're going to do some promos a little bit later on, and we are going to let Tom Knight tell you all about what's going on this big 4th of July weekend coming up on 70s.
Baby's in the running round.
Oh, yes, the best music plays on the best weekend station. It's Music Radio, Totally 70s, America's number one choice. Boss Skaggs, 1976, and Lowdown. It's 3 minutes away from 11 o'clock, and my goodness, I'm taking a look. I can see it, but I cannot believe it. C.W. Dave. Oh, by the way, hi, Sue. How are you? It's great to have you along, and Anna is in there, too, and so is Carter, and always Carrie, and DJ Diamond Dave, and, of course, Nick Tangway, D. Scott. Mark, 1956, has been awfully quiet, but well, fact of the matter is his name is here, which means in some way, shape, or form, so is he. Patrick, wonderful job preparing the American Top 40 for this wonderful little Independence Day weekend we have coming up. Thank you for that. Want to say hi to my buddy Arbacia. That's Josie, and he's out there in Portugal. And wherever you may be over there on Facebook Live, thanks for joining us. And don't forget, if you lose your audio over on Facebook, which we do quite often, you are welcome to come on over here to Vaughn Live, where it always sounds and looks a whole lot better. C.W. Dave, I still can't believe you're here. My God.
70s sound, we're totally 70s, with the best music all weekend.
Oh, yes, the weekend, the music, it's all here, and it's at your disposal. Something you want to hear, let me know about it, and I will get it on the radio for you, and maybe even me too. Here's Bob Welsh and Sentimental Lady on 70s.
You are here and warm.
Music Radio, Totally 70s. You know, it's been so long, I almost forgot how to run this little radio station we call Totally 70s. It's about 1 minute after 11 o'clock in Music City Trace. I see you over there on Facebook. Come on down and check us out at Vaughn Live. We'll see you in just a few.
Please don't talk about love tonight.
Oh, yeah, some of those great little scratchy 45s still sound the best here on Music Radio, Totally 70s. 4 minutes after 11 o'clock, weatherman says showers for the overnight, lows around 57. Tomorrow, more showers on the way, and a high of 65. Right now, showers and 60 degrees in New York with Peter McCann on Totally 70s. Music Radio, Totally 70s. He had that one big hit back in 1977. We never really heard from him again. That song is Peter McCann and Do You Want to Make Love here on Totally 70s. Well, we've got 8 minutes after 11 o'clock. That's Eastern Standard Time. And I know, Don Ganson, wherever you are on the other side of the U.S. of A., it is not your time zone, but it is your radio station. Thank you for joining us, Don. We appreciate that. And the rest of you, thanks so much for stopping by and saying hi. Here's Night Ranger.
Sister Christian, oh, the time has come.
You know, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was right around the tail end of 1983, and I was hanging out with a bunch of friends talking on a CB radio at my mom and dad's house. I believe it was on Channel 7. And as we're having our conversations in our QSO, as we used to call it, because I know many of us that are out here on the Vaughn Live app are former CB radio operators. Some of us still are today. CW Dave and a few others are still doing the radio thing, and myself. I can remember hearing this guy by the name of Jim Gordon, at the time he called himself Midnight Killer, say, "Guys, I'll be right back. Sister Christian is playing on the radio, and I do not want to miss a single note of it." And as I always say, the rest is music history. It's the songs you know, the songs you love to sing along to, and we've got them for you nonstop and commercial-free here on 70s.
I've been walking these streets so long.
We've got so many great songs from the 70s and 80s that we had to knock a wall out just to fit them all in. This is Flashback with Mr. 70s.
Told you once before, and I won't tell you no more.
Music Radio, Totally 70s. I believe I was in the 4th grade when that song came out. Gilbert O'Sullivan, and the song is Get Down, as we get down in your town with some of the best music ever made from the 70s, the 80s, even a few great songs of the 60s from time to time. This is America's #1 choice. You've got the Totally 70s Radio Network.
He was born in the summer of his 27th year. Rocky Mountain High.
Music Radio, Totally 70s. His real name is John Duchendorf, the late great John Denver, and Rocky Mountain High right here on America's #1. Hello there, Greg Bond. No name, just Bond. It's 24 minutes after 11 o'clock. It's Mr. 70s hanging out with you, playing some great songs, something you want to hear. I'm just a phone call away. Here's Bertie Higgins and Key Largo on 70s.
Wrapped around each other.
Music Radio, Totally 70s. That's Bertie Higgins. The song is called Key Largo, and it was right around the year 1981 for that classic right there. It's 26 minutes after 11 o'clock. All right, back in 1984, the LP was entitled Confetti, and Sergio Mendes and Alibis on America's #1 choice. You've got the Totally 70s Radio Network.
I'm Maria. Don't you know what?
You know, every once in a while, my button ain't quite working.
Music Radio.
But if I had not told you that, you would have never known, right? It's 11:46 here at Totally 70s, and guess what? Yep, he is back, ladies and gentlemen, and better than ever, none other than Mr. Thump-O-Matic out of Nelsonville, British Columbia. And only this time around, he's got another dilemma. It is too hot for him to handle. Is that true, John?
Oh, you're not kidding, Paul. You're welcome.
I do appreciate that very much. So, Thumper, listen, without any further ado, let's get a tune on the radio for you and the crew. And what is your favorite radio station?
Definitely the Totally 70s Radio Network.
All right, we love you, man. Take care.
The 70s sound, we're totally 70s. With the best music commercial free.
If you ever leave me.
Music Radio, Totally 70s, America's #1 choice. If you missed that one the first time around, there's a real big explanation for it. It's only a little over 2 minutes long, and that's why. It's Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas. The song is called Bad to Me. Kind of sounds like a cross between the Beatles, the Dave Clark Five, and the Knickerbockers, right, Bond? Kind of a combination of all three? Something like that, right? Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
And you do remember that song, too, don't you?
Oh, God, yes.
So anyway, listen, I'm going to play a few more tunes. I'll be here for a little while. And listen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank everybody else for listening. And if you just came in the door, you are not seeing or hearing things. This is Mr. 70s, and it's the Totally 70s Radio Network. Oh, and Andy Gibb, of course.
For so long.
Yes, you know what they always say. You certainly do forget, but you remember a lot more than you ever realize until you come here. It's a little bit after midnight here in the big town. My name is Mr. 70s, and there was always a better song here on Music Radio, Totally 70s. Yes, by far, still America's #1 choice for better music on the World Wide Web.
America's #1 choice.
#1.
The best music. Totally 70s. Mr. 70s on the Totally 70s Radio Network. Paul DeMarco. Excellent. #1.
Music Radio, Totally 70s gets on the best variety of your favorite songs. The 70s, the 80s, even a few greats of the 60s. Was right around this time in 1980, D. Scott, when that song was up and down the dial in style. Oh my God. It's 6 minutes after midnight. Mr. 70 speaking to you from the heart of the High Rent District. Yeah. And it's all the way with Alan O'Day on your 70s station.
Crying on my pillow.
Music Radio, Totally 70s, America's #1 choice. The songs you love to sing along to, yep, we've got them for you. Non-stop and commercial-free all weekend long. And thank you so much, Olympus Mons, for the kind words. And thank you so much for everything you do here at Totally 70s. We've got you inside a long set of your favorite songs back-to-back. Here's the Commodores at Totally 70s.
Sail on down the line, buddy. Just let me go.
Music Radio, Totally 70s is America's #1 choice. 1982 Solid Gold belongs to Paul Davis, and the song Cool Night was actually the follow-up to his big smash 65 Love Affair, if you remember that one. It's 18 minutes after midnight. Mr. 70s here. Your forecast from the National Weather Service for New York, New Jersey, Fairfield County, Connecticut, and the outer lying areas. They're saying cloudy, showers for the overnight, lows near 57. Tomorrow, more of the same with showers, mainly after 8 a.m. in the morning. So I guess it's going to kind of let off for a little while, and then it's going to be cloudy for the remainder of the day. Highs around, they're saying about 65 to 70 for tomorrow, and then Saturday night, more showers are going to be on the way, mainly after midnight, and lows around 58. Independence Day, your 4th of July, we have a 50-50 chance of being able to blow up the street, as we normally do here in New York town. They're saying chance of afternoon thunderstorms around 2 o'clock, but just a slight chance. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly sunny with a high near 76. Perfect temperature for tomorrow and the day after, if we get that far. But on Independence Day, they're saying a high of 76. For 4th of July evening, they say there's a chance of thunderstorms again. I know the forecast is bogus. It's the best I can do. And they're saying a low of around 58 degrees for Sunday night. Then back to work Monday. If you are not doing that holiday thing, you guessed it, chance of showers, thunderstorms in the afternoon time, otherwise mostly sunny, and a high near 82. Music Radio, Totally 70s, America's #1 choice. Formerly of the Shondells, Tommy James making a comeback back in 1980 in a song called 3 Times in Love. It's 12:24, along with Mr. 70s, Paul DeMarco. And looking over here on Facebook, which I do from time to time, I got to say hi to Chris Kelly again. And unbeknownst to me until just a few minutes ago, I realized that not only is it Chris Kelly, but it's also my brother-in-law, Edward, and of course, his sidekick, a.k.a. partner in crime at one time, Tommy Olson, hanging out with the boys tonight. Thanks. I believe you wanted to hear this one. Big number one, back around 1976 for Rod Stewart. And tonight's the night, right here on America's number one choice. You've got the Totally 70s Radio Network. Music Radio, Totally 70s, America's number one choice. Requestfully yours, Chris, Ed, Tom, and whoever else is hanging out with you guys tonight. Thanks for joining us. It's 29 minutes after midnight. Mr. 70s for a little while longer, and still just a little bit of time if you want to sneak a song in. Let me know about it. Here's Steve Perry and Journey on your 70s station.
Highway run.
Music Radio, Totally 70s, America's number one choice. Whether you're poolside listening through the JBLs, if you listen to Totally 70s, it always sounds that much better. We've got you inside a long set of your favorites. Here's Boston on 70s.